Sorry we started a minute or two late. I wanted to talk tonight about kind of what's going on. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I can't tell if this is working or not. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if this is working in any way, shape, or form at all. um, Hello, I see someone out there. If you could give me a like or something and let me know that you can hear me, that would be awesome. So tonight I wanted to talk about how the current situation, I want to phrase this correctly, how the current situation is affecting teachers, but I'm also very aware that I am not a teacher and I am not experiencing what they are experiencing. So I wanted to um, get kind of their words. All right, I gotta thank you. That means you guys can hear me. Awesome. I wanted to use some teachers' words to kind of discuss how I can help my clients, how I can help my clients who are teachers. Because teachers, this is the hardest school year that most of you have faced probably since you started teaching. So I talked to some of my clients. I talked to 5 of my clients who I am currently seeing and who are currently teaching in the public school system. And I asked them how acupuncture has helped them. So I wanted to start off with, I have a couple testimonials, but we're also going to talk about what I can do specifically for you. If you have any questions at any point, please type it in the chat. All right, so this is what one teacher said about the current situation. I think I pressed the wrong button. Hold up. Yes, I did. All right. So this is what one teacher said about the current situation. It's stressful to be a teacher any day, but teaching during a pandemic has proven to be more stressful than many of us could have imagined. It has thrown us back to the first-year teacher experience that many of us left behind decades ago. We are used to incorporating 1 or 2 new policies or strategies into our daily practice each year, not completely reworking everything. But that is what we've had to do this year. I can't read it a straight line apparently. We have learned new technologies on the fly. We have learned to communicate and make connections across the digital divide. We have even grieved with our students as they lost loved ones from COVID-19. Many of us have done all this while teaching our children at home, keeping them busy when they have few or no extracurricular activities to enrich their minds and hearts. I feel privileged to have been able to be a part of my students' lives and that I have been able to spend the extra time with my own children, but it's hard. There is a very little think time and certainly no downtime. Once we are disconnected from our Zoom sessions, we're 100% parent mode and stay that way until the kiddos go to bed, and then we're back at lesson prep until sorry y'all, I need to learn to read apparently, until we just can't stay awake any longer. And add to all this the executive decisions that can change everything at a moment's notice. She goes on to say, acupuncture is helping me pull through all of this. I started seeing Natalie for some sinus issues back in the fall. We got them taken care of pretty quickly, but by the end of November, I was stressed out ball of nerves. Several nights I would have to sit watching my children while slowly breathing in and out to stave off a panic attack. I would try to be present for my kids while I really wanted to scream loudly and then sleep for a month. I was so tired from the burst of the first few months of school. So Natalie started working through things with me. First, we just got my body to calm down a little bit. Then she found my old traumas. I cried through them, naming what I had been unable to name for months of therapy upon my initial postpartum anxiety diagnosis about 7 years ago. I cried more in the last 2 months than in several years past, and it feels good to identify and acknowledge these things that we have shoved aside. I've also cleaned. With some order in my mind and heart, I am better able to create order in my environment. We still have work to do. Natalie is still finding points that scream when they are first engaged, points where the pain and stressors have caused my energies to stagnate. But we are releasing them one by one, and with each release, I feel freer and more alive, like before. This is something I'm consistently hearing from teachers. You're dealing with panic attacks. You're dealing with stress. You're dealing with all of these things that just keep piling on top of each other, and it's unlike anything you've ever had to face before. But like this teacher said, there is hope. Through acupuncture, we're able to deal with a lot of those traumas that just become more and more burdensome. There's this beautiful principle that I heard about a few months ago, and I love this word. I love this phrase. We've talked about it here before. Hormetic stress. Hormetic stress is when there's a little bit of stress just beyond what we think we can handle. And what that does is it helps to build us and make us stronger to be able to handle the next challenge. Great examples of this are muscle building. When we go to the gym and work out, or when we go for a run, or whatever exercise you do, that little bit of hormetic stress breaks down the muscle, and then it's rebuilt stronger, faster, better. This also works with our tendons. Our tendons, when we're increasing our flexibility, we stretch just beyond that threshold of, or just to that threshold of discomfort. And as we stretch to that point of discomfort, it allows us to become more flexible in those tendons for the next time. Hormetic stress also works on us emotionally. When we are faced with a situation that's just beyond what we think we can handle, and then we find out that we're stronger, smarter, more creative than we were before. A lot of you teachers have experienced this back in the beginning when you were first started teaching, and you had no idea what you were doing. You'd never done this before. And that little bit of hormetic stress, just beyond what you thought you were capable of, gave you the strength to do more. Hormetic stress is a beautiful thing. Hormetic stress is wonderful. But the problem is, hormetic stress is a very fine line. And as soon as you cross that fine line of hormetic stress, it becomes trauma. I'm going to say that again. As soon as you cross that fine line of that level of stress that makes you better, it becomes trauma. When we're looking at muscle groups, this is when a muscle tears. When we're looking at flexibility, this is when that tendon snaps. And when we're looking at stress, this is when we lose it. This is when we're no longer capable, we're no longer able to keep doing what we're doing. It's when trauma reaches that point where trauma is that point just beyond hormetic stress. Let's go to another teacher's words. Discuss kind of looking at that hormetic stress. Acupuncture is a stress relief tool that I have added to my toolbox. This is let me get rid of that so you can read it. I'm sorry. There we go. This is mostly due to my acupuncturist, Natalie Vestal at Red Dragon Wellness Center. She is professional, knowledgeable, caring, and extremely calming. We began my acupuncture journey earlier this school year when my stress level got the best of me. I was a veteran teacher, feeling like a first-year teacher. I was drained mentally, physically, and emotionally. I knew that I needed to make a positive, healthy change, and acupuncture was it. I've had regular appointments that not only reduce my stress levels, they have led me to reevaluate how I deal with my life and getting me back to optimal health. Natalie has made many wonderful suggestions that assist between appointments. Overall, I'm getting better than I have in years. I've told Natalie that she has been a godsend to me through this stressful time, and I am thankful for her, and I tell everyone I know about the benefits of acupuncture. This is one of my many clients who was reaching that point where hormetic stress became trauma and was able to, through acupuncture and Chinese medicine, be able to take a step back and realize, hey, maybe the reason I'm being overwhelmed by this level of stress isn't just all the overwhelming stressors. It's also the fact that my body is scared. My body is traumatized. My body is dealing with all of these other stressors. And if I can deal with the internal, if I can start dealing with the trauma that I've been carrying for years, then I can better face the trauma that's coming. We know this. We know that our body goes through cycles of where we have a stressor and then it kind of tapers off and fades over the course of days, months, years, maybe minutes, depending on the level of stress. Psychologists have let me try again. Psychologists have created a test for this. It's called the Holmes-Rahe Stress Inventory. And if I do this correctly, I'm going to give you a link in the comments so that you can take your own Holmes-Rahe stress test. That should, yep, that just came through. Wonderful. Now, just for giggles, I did a potential Holmes-Rahe test for you guys. If I figure out there it is. Okay. What I did with it. All right. Oop, wrong one. Hold up. Give me 1 second. I'm not technologically savvy. All right. So this is the Holmes-Rahe Stress Inventory. This is the link that I put in the chat. And if you look at it, you have all of these major life events. You have things like death of a spouse, divorce, marriage. And I like to remind people that just because something is good stress does not mean it isn't still stress. So pregnancy is a wonderful thing, usually, but it's also a major stressor. Changing your line of work, having an outstanding personal achievement. There's a list of 43 things that can have a major impact on your health. Now, like I said, just for giggles, I did an inventory for teachers. Now, this inventory is assuming that nothing else went wrong in your life except for the changes that COVID made to your work environment. So if you have had marital or relational difficulties since COVID started, this is not included. If you have had someone close to you get sick, that is not included in this one. If you have had literally anything go wrong except for the changes in your work environment, in other words, most of you, or in other words, very few of you would have no other stressors. This is your assessment. So I included a few things. Major change in your responsibilities at work. Yes, you've had a major change in your responsibilities. Revision of personal habits. As much as I salute the teaching in sweatpants, changing how you're dressing is a stressor. Also, yeah, I completely support going to work in pajamas. Be comfortable. Troubles with the boss. Now, I am not saying that your administrator is doing anything wrong. What I am saying is that there has been a strain in your work relationship between you and your administration, and between administration and the people over them. And it's because life is changing at a breakneck speed, and your administration has no idea what's coming next. So of course they can't warn you ahead of time. Major changes in working hours or conditions. Changes in residence. You're now teaching from home for a lot of you. That's going to affect things. Major change in the type or amount of recreation. You're going through a pandemic. Major changes in social activities. You're going through a pandemic. Major change in the number of family get-togethers. Most likely if you're going through a pandemic. Now, this may not affect everyone, but if so, subtract 15 points. Major holidays. We've had those, check. So based on the last year, I give teachers a baseline assessment of 180 points. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom here, you will see the assessment. So if you have 150 points or less, you have a very low amount of stress in your life. If you have between 150 and 300 points, this means that you have a 50% chance of a major health breakdown in the next 2 years. So if you are just a baseline teacher, you have a 50% chance of a major health breakdown in the next 2 years. This could be mental, this could be emotional, this could be psychological, or I guess that is mental. It could be mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, something. Some level of major, sorry, technology. There we go. So just baseline as a teacher, right now, you have a 50% chance of having a major health breakdown in the next 2 years. And that's if nothing else is going on. Guys, that's a lot. That is a lot. So let's hear from one of my teacher clients who absolutely had other stuff going on in her life. I pursued acupuncture to work on balancing my hormones after losing a baby halfway through the pregnancy. I was grieving, but I didn't realize the impact it had on my health. I'm a teacher, but didn't acknowledge that the stress of teaching and learning during a pandemic was taking its toll on me. I'm overweight, but couldn't get past a weight loss plateau despite making healthy choices. Natalie's intuitive approach to healing has helped me connect the dots. Through her knowledge of how the body works and specific acupuncture points, she lowered my stress level and helped me work through grief. I leave my treatments feeling so relaxed, my body feels like jelly. I've also noticed less PMS symptoms, less fatigue, and a higher awareness of holding stress in my body. Natalie is an excellent teacher also. She gives me the tools to tune into my body, which helps me to lower stress between sessions. I highly recommend acupuncture, especially with Natalie. Her treatments are a blessing to me and my family. Guys, I just want to say I was really humbled reading these when I asked. I just want to take a moment to thank the 5 ladies who wrote back to me because it was seriously humbling. Yeah, it was seriously humbling. So, but what about the what ifs? What if I'm scared of needles? Well, if you're scared of needles, let's talk about that. I, of course, didn't plan ahead for this. But needles are tiny. Needles are very thin. They're about the thickness of a thick hair. So they're very small. And I go at your pace. If it's overwhelming to you to be going at a certain pace, let me know. We'll slow down. That's not a big deal. The other concern I hear a lot is, well, I don't have time to prioritize myself. Okay, let me ask you this. How long is a panic attack? How long is a daily panic attack? How much time is that taking from your life? How much time are your headaches and migraines taking from your life? How much time are you losing because of your chronic health conditions that are slowly breaking you down? Guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to hold out like that. Let's go to one more set of thoughts from a client. I have been a patient with Natalie for several months now. I must admit, I was skeptical about the success of acupuncture, and I was only trying it because a friend recommended it. I'm a mom of 3 small children, a middle school math teacher, and was struggling with virtual learning and how to cope with the new world we live in. I have struggled with several anxieties since the birth of my 3rd child. Even with my medications, I wasn't managing. When I first went to see Natalie, my body was exhausted and I was an emotional mess. I was struggling to juggle virtual teaching, no easy task by itself, plus logging on my 3 children for their own lessons and managing their work while trying to run a household of 5. I couldn't function day to day without multiple panic attacks and feeling like the world was spinning out of control. Natalie began my treatment, focusing on calming my anxiety and strengthening my body to better handle stress. Throughout the entire process, she was calm and reassuring, even on days when I was upset and panicked. She explained each and every step she was taking and provided me with strategies to cope with my anxiety when I wasn't with her. I had a lot of questions about the process of acupuncture, and she welcomed my questions and educated me every step of the way on what she was doing and how it would help. After several months of treatments twice a week, my anxiety is managed and under control. I am better able to handle stress without panicking or shutting down. We have been able to cut my treatments back to once a week. Natalie has helped me become a stronger person and helped me grow and adapt to our ever-changing world. I'm a much happier person overall, and I'm able to be the best mom, wife, teacher, and person possible. Guys, it's time to start taking care of you. Teachers have this, I want to phrase this well. Teachers spend most of their time taking care of others. I get it. I'm in a similar field. We invest in our clients, we invest in our students, we invest in our people, and we think of ourselves last. And that doesn't work, because while we're investing in our work, our family life suffers. Our families don't get the best of us. They get whatever is left over. And then we get whatever is left after that. And that's not healthy. You can't pour out of an empty glass. Let me say that one more time. You can't pour out of an empty glass. All right. So let's go through one more testimonial. Wrong one. One more testimonial. I'm a public school teacher, and I've been working in different areas of my health through acupuncture with Natalie for years, with wonderful results. When I first started, my focus was more on major health issues such as chronic pain, headaches, allergies. While working through these needs, Natalie taught me how to listen to my body and how to look for underlying causes of certain concerns. For me, my major underlying causes are anxiety and stress. The only thing that is constant, especially in teaching right now, is change. New stress factors are being added daily. Using acupuncture to focus on stress management has been very beneficial for me. While receiving a treatment, I know I am in a safe place, away from all my worries and fears. I close my eyes, breathe, and be fully present in that moment and just listen to my body. After a treatment, I feel relaxed, but I also feel a strength of mind, more prepared to combat my anxious thoughts. I leave feeling lighter and better prepared to face what's coming next. Guys, before this hit, I was treating teachers for stress. Y'all are actually amazing at holding stress in your bodies, guys. You hold so much stress. It's almost impressive how much you guys can handle and keep going and keep moving. But that doesn't mean it's healthy, and that doesn't mean it's good for you. So I wanted to really quick share this infographic from, am I doing this right? From the Economic Times is where this is from. So these are some signs of chronic stress. And I know absolutely none of these will sound familiar to y'all as teachers. And by that, I mean you probably had at least 3 of them. Headaches, tension headaches. Guys, tension headaches start here. They encompass the entire sides of your head, and you feel like your brain is going to explode. Let me help you with this. Please let me help you with this. Aches, lower back, neck, and shoulders. Well, you know, if you really want the trifecta, it's the tension headache that goes down all the way into your neck and your upper back. Yeah. Then, well, please let me get rid of that for you, please. Dizziness. Guys, did you realize that if you have so much neck tension, you can actually reduce circulation to your brain and you can get dizzy? It's not a good thing. Please let me fix this for you. Not being able to breathe properly. Yeah, I'll talk about that one more in a minute. Not being able to breathe properly. That's anxiety, guys. If you ever feel tension in here, that's anxiety. Let me fix that for you. Diarrhea during stressful events. This can also be constipation. Both of these things are common signs of chronic stress. Please let me fix them. Chest pain, increased heart rates. I think most of us know that that's a sign of stress. It can also be anxiety. It can also just be, heart issues, which should definitely get checked. So please, if you're having chest pain and heart flutters, please go find a cardiologist or talk to your GP. Frequent allergies, coughs, and colds. Yes, our immune system is definitely lowered when we have massive amounts of stress. I am also aware of the state of a lot of your closets, and through no fault of your own, there's a lot of really gross things back there. These are also causing frequent allergies, coughs, and colds. It's one of the most frequent things I see in teachers is coughs and colds. And it's because you're breathing all this crap, and then you're also under an immense amount of stress. Oversleeping or finding it difficult to fall asleep. I hear a lot of insomnia for teachers. Lots of insomnia. Increasing tobacco and alcohol use. I don't hear this one as much. It's probably because you're working with kids. Low tolerance for people and situations turning grumpy. And let's be completely honest, our students don't get the grumpy. Our families get the grumpy. And like one of my clients said earlier, it makes us better parents. It makes us better wives. It makes us better husbands when we're under a lower amount of stress. It makes us a better spouse, person, partner, all that mess when we've dealt with our trauma. Restlessness, being impatient. Pretty much the same thing I said for that low tolerance for people. And then finding it difficult to be genuinely happy. Guys, when's the last time you felt genuinely happy? Now, I'm not saying that acupuncture will make you genuinely happy. Happiness and health are a participation sport. You have to be involved in it. But when you are so completely overwhelmed, you can't find happiness. Let me help you with that. Let me help you release these traumas from your body so that you can feel good. You can feel happy. You can feel good in your skin, in your body, in yourself. Oh, goodness. All right. So, what are we going to do about it? Because we can give you all this information, but unless it gets integrated, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. So, normally, and this is actually something I did a few years ago, normally I would do a free acupuncture day. It's where I take a day, get a whole bunch of people who want to try acupuncture, have never tried it before, and I cover your treatment for the first time, so it's no cost to you whatsoever. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get a concentrated number of people in my office in one day. So instead, I'm going to do something that I've actually never done before. There's an herbal formula called Jade Screen, and it is an immune booster. It is actually what they used in China during the beginning of COVID to help prevent spread. To the Chinese formula that they would use for that. And so what I'm going to do, and I have placed my order and hopefully it will come in soon enough. If not, I will owe you a bottle. Any teachers I get between now and when you go back to school, because I believe hybrid, or you're going back to hybrid either the 2nd or the 8th, depending on county and school and all that mess. Basically, anytime in the next 2 weeks, if you book an appointment with me, I'm going to send you home with a bottle of Jade Screen. A bottle will last you about a week. It's going to boost your immune system. It's going to help prevent COVID. The other thing you can do too is start supplementing vitamin D. It's the combination of those two is actually what I'm, in addition to, of course, following guidelines, is what I'm doing to help keep myself well, so I can keep doing what I can do. So I'm going to be giving any teacher or educator who is currently in the education system, I'm going to be handing you a bottle. Now, when you sign up for your appointment, please let me know that you are a teacher so that I know, so I can give you one, so I make sure I have enough to go around. I ordered 15 bottles. I'm hoping to run through them like that because, quite frankly, out of every demographic I have ever worked with, teachers need me. And I don't mean that to be arrogant. Guys, you give of so much of yourself that you need to be taken care of too. And acupuncture just works so well for you guys. So yeah, please, if you are interested in that free offer, let me know. The retail value of those herbs is $25. If you are in Wicomico County, your copay is $30. If you are in Somerset and Worcester, I believe it's $20. I'm going off the top of my head. It's $20. So you're basically getting either a $5 or a negative $5 treatment by getting those herbs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from my teachers and from anyone else under a massive amount of stress. You can call me at 443-614-7534, or you can actually book online. If you go to Red Dragon Wellness Center /book-now, or just Red Dragon Wellness Center, and up in the corner you'll see Book Now. If you do that, you can go ahead and get signed up for an appointment that way. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video, or you can call or text 443-614-7534. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, have a fabulous night, and I'll talk to you again